Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Daphne, and today is Friday, April 8th of the year 2022, and this is my monthly update on my progress on all my cross-stitching pieces. First, I would like to say welcome to any new subscribers and viewers. I hope that there is something here that you find that you like and that you continue to join me on my progress. And I would also like to say welcome back to all my past and current subscribers. I just want to say thank you for joining me every month, and anytime that I do an extra video, I hope that you enjoy those. And yeah, this month for March, we've got quite a bit of stuff to show you. We've got three sales that I've worked on. We've got all my normal projects that I work on every month. We've got some plans for the rest of April, and we have a little bit of haul that came in. So without further ado, let's just get into the stitching. So we'll start first with some sales. This one here is Stitch On Me, the Halloween sale from 2021, and it was a mystery sale, so there was no picture of what it would look like completed. And this is 28 count Gilded Lugana by Mystic Fabrics. I'm using all DMC, and this was one of my Whip Go pieces for March, and I believe I believe I'd only got like 5 or 6 days. Let me check. 5 days. So I have 5 more days to get for the year. I had started saying that these were monthly goals, but if I get it in the month, I get it in the month. Some of these I will definitely get within the month. And some won't, but that's okay. So here's the piece, just as is. And then I'm just folding it up so that I can show you guys where it is. So here we are now. There are some, like in this pumpkin here, there's still a color that I'm missing. I thought I got all the colors, but I guess I'm missing the colors. So I filled in ones that were missing and started ones that I hadn't had filled in before. So I have 2 more here, and then I'll go down and fill in some more blocks, and we'll go from there. So this was 5 days of work. I can tell you this one here took me 2 days, because it took me 2 days to do, because it was a lot. So here is that. Like I said, there's one color missing in the pumpkin. Is missing on the house. He's missing on the moth man here. I don't know if there's one missing here or not. There's Beetlejuice, the Raven, Dracula, the Mask, the Lady in Black. So this one comes out when I think I'll pull it out on the 13th and the 31st of each month. And get those last 4 days in that I need for this one. And then I pulled out this one just a little bit the end of the month, I think. Or did I pull it out in this beginning of this month? I pulled it out at the beginning of this month, but that's okay. I'll still show you it. It's the Caterpillar Cross Stitch How Does Your Garden Grow sale. We are up to part 3, I believe, and I'm still on part 1, which is okay. I finished out the teapot here, not the teapot, the watering can. I had this second line of black in, so I did this one, and filled in the top. And then I had to unpick what I had here on this mushroom stem because it was wrong. And I still need to unpick this part here on this mushroom stem, because I only had one space instead of two, so I got to redo that. And then up here are the pumpkins that are done. And then there is, what else I have for part 2. Oh no, part 1 I still got to do the tomatoes in the watering can. Underneath the watering can there's 2 pea pods. On this side there's the gnome, Norman the gnome, and above him is a rain cloud with raindrops. That's for part 2. And then part 3 is strawberries above the watermelons, lettuce is above the watermelons, and a rake and a shovel. So I still got a ways to go, which is fine. We'll pull this one out again and work on this some more this month. Hopefully get it all together and get at least part 1 finished. I got this as a whole kit, so it came with the floss, and what I did is I wrote the symbols on the number, underneath the numbers, or next to the numbers, next to the numbers, I wrote the symbols, so I don't have to have the legend out as I'm working on this one. And I also got the needle minder, Norman the needle minder as well, and this came with the Evenweave linen. So that's How Does Your Garden Grow, Sal. And then I started a new Sal that we get pieces on the 25th, I believe. Yes, the 25th. Under the Sea by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and it's a mystery, so you don't know what the pieces are until you get them, and I would like to say that part 1 for me is complete. I got this as the full kit from them, so it has DMC, it has some fancy flosses, hang on, let me grab one here, Classic Colorworks. This one is Shamrock. We've got Deep Blue Sea, and Charisse in like a pink. So we've used this one, and we've used this one so far. And this was their fabric as well, 28 count Nessie, I believe. So here is where it's at. This is part 1 complete. I did everything as called for except for the skin on the mermaid. I changed the skin tone to match one of my nieces. This piece, I decided that I was going to give this piece to one of my nieces. So that skin tone for this little mermaid is her skin tone, and then there's the baby dolphin and the mama dolphin. In part 2 we'll get towards the end of this month. Hoping to stay up to date with this one as much as possible. This one is, I believe, like a year-long Sal. And this was from one of the Black Needle Society boxes, A Pirate Life. So there's the Frosted Pumpkin Under the Sea Sal. And that one is completed. Done, done, done. And then I will show you my yearly pieces that I work on for one of my groups. It's a closed group. They're not accepting any members at the moment. And this piece is my pandemic piece, my Long Dong samplers, and this is on 30 count barley corn by Access Commodities. And I've worked on this a little bit this month for a prompt, but last month I did 1,224 stitches in this. I'm getting close to finishing the row of pages. So here's the whole entire piece. This is 1/1 on 30 count with Mrs. Seda Silk and Hydrangea. And I was working just down over in this section here. Some of this I did this month in April. Most of this was done in March. Let me fold this just a little bit so that it's easier for me to hold. But you will see the picture where it was in March, at the end of February, very beginning of March, so that you can see exactly where I was. So yeah, 1,224 stitches on this one in total. I used, like I said, I used this one for a yearly thing. So on this, if you look at this, I think there's a little bit of page here and then this whole page here that needs to be finished. And then I can go down to the next row of pages. And I think, if I'm thinking correctly, there's maybe 2, if not 3 rows after this row. Hoping to finish this in a timely manner. I know where it's going to go in my house once it is finished, but we haven't gotten there yet. And here's the silks. This was a big hank that I just cut into 3 sections. Here's the label, Mrs. Seda Silk, and here's the name, Hydrangea. So this is the one the hank that I'm working out of right currently. So there's still 2 more, 2 more left of the first hank. Excuse me. I have another whole hank to go. I didn't know how much I would need, so I just grabbed 2. But I haven't even gone through this one yet. So I'll probably have at least 1 full one of these left after this is done. So, but that's okay. That is fine with me. I'm sure I'll find something else to make with them. And then we'll go from there. So there is that one. And there, let me just put this back in the bag so that I don't get confused or lost. And then my other yearly project is my QS holiday, what I call holiday, but it's actually this piece here, a QS, a Stitch in Time holiday by Amy Stewart. So this is the very bottom corner of the big Stitch in Time by Amy Stewart. I just like this one, so I was like, I'll just take this piece. I don't need the whole big thing. So this one in March got 2,250 stitches. I did put in 600 stitches last night in it. So this progress you're going to see is April, a little bit of April, 1 day in April, and all of March. And this was a Whip Go call for March, and I got 7 days. So I can actually count last night as day number 8. So let me just mark that really quick. So I got that one down. And then we'll go from there. You will see empty holes because when I bought floss, I only bought floss for the first couple pages. And I've gone beyond those, what I thought I was going to do. So 28 count. I just believe it's 28 count. The White Lugana started in 2021, and I started in the bottom corner here. So 2,250 stitches. Last night I was working on filling in more of this diagonal, this last diagonal here, getting really good into the snowman, as you can see, getting started his scarf. So it'll be fun. The next diagonal is where I'm working now, unless I have an order coming in from Fire Raleigh, is my last order, because they announced that they're closing their shop. So I had some gift cards left over, so I needed to spend that. So I used the gift cards to get the floss I need, some of the floss I needed to fill in. If you can see, there's a bunch of empty spaces in here I needed to fill in. There's some random stitches in here that need to be filled in as well. And I got a few other things. But that's supposed to be arriving the next couple days. So we'll see where I go when I pull this one up next time. But it is done for the monthly challenge, the yearly challenge for this month in April, because I had it scheduled for 300 stitches for 2. Come on, my needle won't stay on here. There we go. I had it slotted for 2 spots for the month of April, and I did those both last night. So anything that I do is extra stitching on this now for this month. But I'm enjoying this. This is the top of the page, and then there's some on the bottom row of pages. So they're really long diagonals for me right now. But there's QS Holiday. I enjoy this one. Sometimes it is hard with the white on white, so I do turn up my light a little bit brighter than normal. I usually use my light on set 1, but when I'm working on that at night, I pop it up to number 2 so that I can see the white on white. The next one is my other monthly focus, and this is my Game of Thrones piece. I have not worked on this yet in April. It is scheduled to come out on Saturday to start with the monthlies. But for March, I did 2,174 stitches, which once again was filling in this diagonal, and we are just starting the diagonal up here. What I do is, these are all parked for the next diagonal. So what I'll do is I'll take these two, fill these, stitch with what this is, park them, and then I'll come down here and fill in all these with these, and then whatever stitches are left, I will go in and fill in there, and then if I reach the bottom and they're parked down here, they are on the next row, I'll park them down here. That's what this is here, is parked for the next row of pages. And I think we're getting over close to the edge of this pattern for this row. And I don't believe I'm even at 50% yet on this pattern. And I've been working on this since 2019. This was my main focus for 2019. And then 2020 happened, and I got a lot more. But this is my yearly piece for 2 groups I'm using this in. One group is the one that's a monthly year, that's the closed group that's not accepting any new members at the moment, and the other one is the semi-sane, which is your focus challenge. Each month you focus on, and you take your pictures at 1,000 stitch increments. So this one gets at least 1,000 stitches a month, sometimes double that or triple that, depending where I'm in the colors. Like if it's a solid chunk of black, I get it quickly, those 1,000 stitches. So this one will definitely be worked on this month. No, I don't need to pull that one down. And then I pulled out this piece because it did rain this in March. It rained. Let me pull that out because that's in the end of April. It rained on 3/8 and 3/11. And it rained another day too, a couple weeks last week. 3:30 it rained. So this one is the River by Modern Folk Embroidery. This was in this resolution stitching box from the Black Needle Society. I'm using this as my rainy day piece for this year, so any day that it rains, during the time that I'm actually stitching. If it's before I stitch, I don't pull it out because it's not my time to stitch. If it is after the time that I've stopped my stitching for the night, then I don't count that as a rain. I only count it if it's raining during the time that I am stitching. And I usually stitch from anywhere between like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning until about 7 or 8 at night. That's not a consistent time that I'm stitching. I'm not stitching those 12 hours consistently. You know, household things to do, laundry, dishes, you know, cleaning, all those things. So there's that. This is on 56 count is what I got linen in cream, and it is with Forbidden Fiber Co. their Floss River of Life, which was also part of that resolution stitching box. So I just stuck it on my little floss keeper here. And this is the one that I'm working out of right now. I don't think I'll be using all 5 sections. Excuse me. But I'll find a use for the leftovers. So here is the floss. It's blues and like darker blue, greens and darker greens. And it's just really pretty. And here is where we are at with this one. Whoops, got a fuzz. Okay, my needle's there. And this needle minder is from that same resolution stitching box. It says New Year, New Start. And this is where we are at. We're in that band, the second band. So the next I'll come here, and I believe it's another one of these. And then on the other side will be another one of reindeer or deer. And then on this side over here will be another flower pot. And then I can do the band. And then I can start on the big pot in the middle. So this is this. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 days of work so far this year. 1 over 1. No, sorry, 1 over 2 on 56 count. 1 floss over 2 strand, 2 linen threads. So there's that. I'm loving it so far. It's a cream, so it's a yellow piece. So there's days that I'm like, oh, missing working on that, but I don't. I only pull it out when it is raining. So the next piece is another one that I work on monthly, but it's not for any monthly challenge or anything like that. I just pull it out monthly. And if I have a prompt that fits into this piece, then I will put it into this piece. And this is sunflowers. The artwork is Marianne Broom, Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'm over here in this corner, just starting to get into this this flower here. It's gonna be a while until this one is done. This one got 401 stitches in last month, and I believe this is 28 count. This was going to be my temperature piece for 2021, but I UFO'd it, so I'm using the fabric for this piece. So here we are currently. So 401 stitches. Must have been 1 stitch in a box left over. So we got this one, this one, this one, and this one here. And like I said, starting to get into the petals, so we have a little bit more colors, which is fun to see the colors come through. But this one's fun to work on too. This one is, like you can see, is doing the full 10 by 10 square before I move on. So what I do is I will work in these sets of threads, and then I'll fill in. And then I'll go to the next square, and the next square, and the next square, and so on and so on. Probably going to work this one the squares from the top all the way down until I reach the bottom of the pattern. Considering I only work in the 10 by 10 square at a time, it shouldn't, I can place the Q-snap to where I'll get a majority of the diagonal in a page, and that's my 8 by 8 square. So there. And there's all the flosses that I haven't wound yet. I have a bin, a plastic bin that has the flosses on bobbins. And the next piece is my September 11th piece. This is NYC Twin Towers Scene is what it was called. I know she changed the name. Stitching Jules Designs changed the name of this piece. 9/11 Memorial, I want to say, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll get it and write it down next time. 28 count sandy bottom from Fortnight Fabrics in called for colors, all DMC. I'm working over here, starting from the left and working my way over. And all the DMC. Some are bobbinated, some are not. I tend to only bobbinate them when I pull them out to use them for the first time. And I'm going to be putting a quote in as well when I get to that point. So sandy bottom is kind of like a very, very light brown. So you really can't tell. It looks white. So this is where it is at currently. This first building is coming in really nicely. Hang on, let me unclip myself. So what I'm doing now is when I work on this piece, I saw this way to stitch from Sarah, the Stitchin' Mommy, here on Flosstube. What she does is she goes from the top of her pattern and picks the leftmost unstitched symbol, and that's the one that she starts with. So I've started to do that, and once I get to that point, once I get to these stitches, I'll use these and fill them in. And what she does and what I've been doing on this is I'll start at the top and I'll look, so like, without really looking at the pattern keeper without to see, but I believe that this stitch here would be the very first one that I would work. So I would do this and I would find wherever it is in this building, fill it in and work in it, and stop one of two things. When I run out of stitches for that color, or when I run out of color on that with that particular symbol, and then I'll just go to the next symbol. So it is a form of cross country, but it's just one color at a time, and for me, I'm just working in this building. So I will go pretty much from the top of this building all the way down to the bottom, and then I'll do the same for the next building, and just keep going that way. And like I said, once I get, down here, I'll start working in these threads, and I will do away with the parking on this one, because it's not really full coverage, so I don't feel that I need to, don't need to really park on this one. This, yes, the design is full stitch, but there's no background to stitch behind the buildings. So this one got, NYC got 371 stitches this month in March. And I pull this one out on the 11th of every month. So this one will come out again. Did I lose my needle? Oh. Well, hopefully it's in the bag. Or on me somewhere. We'll find it. So there's that one. And then that's all of my pieces that I worked on in April and March. My Game of Thrones piece, I'm just pulling the bed sheet with it. My Game of Thrones piece, like I stated, this one will come back out for the month of April. This one will get work on definitely on the 12th, because that is my boyfriend's birthday. So I try to work on pieces with specific days in the month. So this one is definitely the 12th, but it does get more work than that in the month. So this one will come out. Like I said, this one will come out again. This will be on the 18th of every month. Throw that one down there. The 9/11, this will come out on the 11th of every month. So this will be April 11th. And then my Sal's, whenever I feel like working on them, those will come out. This one is Rainy Days Only. And let me move the fabric tag out of the way. My QS Holiday, I still need 2 more days to finish up the goal for March, but it'll come out more than that. This one comes out every month, along with the Game of Thrones piece and my pandemic piece. This one hasn't had this had a little bit of love for April. It still needs a little bit more, and so those two will definitely come out in addition to the Game of Thrones piece. I'm just tossing them back in my bucket here on the floor so that I can just take my bucket and bring it back. So, my Whip Go pieces for April. We're going to go right into plans. The Whip Go pieces for April was number 10 and number 7. And number 10 is my piece for one of my best friends. And I'm keeping that a secret because I know she did watch my first video and don't want to show it in the videos. But I did work on it in March. And it received, let me get back to that page, 301 stitches in March. And it will get worked on the 30th of April. Yep. And it's actually one I'm going to work on tonight for a weekly challenge. So that has 10 days. So we'll start that. And then number 7 was Snowman Stocking. And that's a piece that you guys have not seen before. I think you've seen it, but not recently. I haven't worked on it this year. I don't have a cover picture for this. Actually, I can pull it up on my phone here really quickly because I have it in my Google Drive. Put it in there. No. So it's just in this. I gotta find it. Let me just search. Man. Okay. It is, the name of it is Snowman. And it is by Ruth Sanderson. And this is what it looks like. It's a lot of blues. And I'm only in the very top. Just starting to outline. Just starting to outline the sun. When I started to kit this one, I was pulling floss I had in stash. So now as I'm working, I'm writing down which flosses I need. And I'm not exactly sure what the floss is, what the fabric is. I started to blanket stitch my sides to keep them intact. I started really far down because I'm going to put up a border, excuse me, a framed white border up here, and my boyfriend's name's going to go in the top of that. So this is 3 colors of blue, actually, that are in this top little section here. So I just picked a color and worked on it the other night for April. So this has already had 1 day in April of work. Let me fold this down. There we go. I worked down here finishing this chunk, and I started going up over here, and then next time I pull it out, I'll work over here, and fill in here. Hopefully at some point I can get some of these missing colors. I was looking at the chart. Some of these that are missing only have a few stitches, so I might even have these colors in another project that I can steal, that I can use a length of thread in to finish. And then once I finish over here, I'll come down here and finish this little section. Or I might even finish this section before I move over here. We will see when that time comes. This one is going to come back out on the 15th. And I'll schedule in the rest of the 9 days that I need to finish this goal in. So there's the snowman stocking, where it is currently at. And that is the one of my April workbook pieces. And whatever else I feel fits into challenge prompts, that's what I will fit in for challenge prompts. I believe that is all we have for my stitching. I'll leave that open. Put that in. Whoops, put that in there. We've got a little bit of haul here. This is my fabric of the month, Crazy Annie stitching. They are with Fortnight fabrics for their fabric of the month this year. So this is January's fabric. It's a tan, mottled tan. I get a 1/4 of a yard in 28 count even weave. Calaria, I believe. I don't know if I'll be able to get it to show true. But it's a tan, mottled tan color. So I got quite a bit that I can work with. You can put multiple things on or just put one big thing on. So this is the January fabric from Fortnight Fabrics from Crazy Annie. And this is February Sornan 28 count Lugana, 1/4 of a yard, and this is like a gray color, gray mottled. Stick the tag back in there so I don't lose it. Let me just do this a little bit so that you can kind of see a little of the color. So there's the gray, and it's mottled. And then I'll open it up so you can see the whole thing. So here's the whole entire piece. So like I said, I can put a bunch of little things or one big thing in it. And then we have not received March. We just got billed for April, which I need to pay. And then this is some of my market haul that I got from market this year. So my first one is, hang on. Oh, I dropped it on the floor. Okay. Here we go. His Let Love Rain by Teresa Colgate. This is, I think, 3 3 pieces that she did out for her Patreons, and she put them in book form. But here's the back. There's 2 pieces on the back. The one that I really liked, the reason why I got it, was for this sampler right here. The Love Rain sampler is just really pretty. I would do it on a smaller count fabric so I would be able to hang it in my house. But yeah, this is the main reason why I got this one. And then I also got, this was an afterthought. When I ordered the stuff the first round, I didn't see this one out. No, I'm sorry, that was the first one. And this one was also in that first order. Hands-on Designs, Block Party, and this is the 4th. I got it with the needles, the pins. This is what it looks like if you did it as the block, or you can go and you can do it as the banner, which is probably what I would do, is just make it into the banner. But I like that I was able to get the pins with it. So those are my first 2 market pieces. And then I saw this one and ordered it afterwards. I'm not going to take it out, but this is a Heart Remembers Blackbird Designs. I got it as I liked this here. You can stitch them on 5 different pieces of linen, or you can stitch it all on 1 piece of linen. And if I were to do it, I'd probably stitch it on just 1 piece. It was really pretty. And there's a bunch of little designs inside as well. But this is my first Blackbird. But yeah, so those are my 3 pieces that I got from market. And then I don't know if I'd get any more from market this year, but that's what I did. And then this is the Black Needle Society, the Steampunk bi-monthly subscription box for March, I believe. I did an unboxing video where I went into detail on what each thing was. I'm just going to really quickly go through this, and this is the last thing. So the first thing, just pulling it out random, the first thing is the wheel organizer.